Голос Manners Heaven.
Mr. Samuel Higgs, big shot investigative reporter.
Didn't think you'd ever be back in here.
I'd gladly slash your tires. But that mean you couldn't leave town. And you are leaving town right after this, right? As if you aren't, well, Nick's memory only goes so far. That's what I thought.
Come on, it ain't worth it.
Я тоже так думаю.
Making friends already, I see.
Declan, been a while.
Hey, careful. I'd rather not be working tonight. And you always seem to angry up everyone's blood.
I'm only here to pay my respects to Nick. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, shame that. You watch yourself.
I think it's time I go put up a photo at the memorial board. That's what people do, right?
Да, наверное.
It's supposedly the spirit of coal. Doesn't really belong here anymore.
Тут самому это не можно.
I didn't know you read Dickens, Ethan. Not really. You just quoted him a couple of times and I thought it sounded good.
А что нам нужно сделать? Помилки памятнику. Так, что почитаем? Деклан. Работает в местной полиции. Я смутно помню его еще в школе. Он тогда много раз часто вступает за тех, кто послабее. Неудивительно, что он стал полицейским. Ну, тогда. Джоэл. Когда шахта закрылась, все шахтеры оказались без работы. И лучших не... Ну, короче, местный...
Then you should read Great Expectations.
Висячий чел.
Plain and simple.
Чего? Ну, зайчика.
Sammy! Oh, it's been ages.
Tara?
Oh, me? I've had this stomach thing lately, always churning. And this thing with Nick, his car went up like a Sunday ham. He burned alive, you know. Have you met Hugh? He took over the old pharmacy just after you left.
No.
Oh.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on the mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
It took reading thousands of public records, but a pattern emerged of willful negligence.
You are a bulldog. A dangerous man to anyone using power to exploit others.
That's nice of you to say.
Oh, don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam, you...
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
Какая женщина-говорюшка.
You'd think a kid at a bar would stand out more.
Everyone here seemed to really like my dad.
Of course they did, Bug.
Everyone's nice in that creepy way. It's weird. Even Anna's weird.
People don't really know what to say, but they genuinely liked your dad. So even if they're weird and clumsy, it comes from a good place.
Now you sound all weird and clumsy.
Don't I always?
Do you ever just watch people?
It's pretty much all I do.
Me too. But I don't always like what I see.
Я только сейчас поняла, что, возможно, они нас так злятся, потому что мы какое-то расследование провели, шахту за нас, походу, закрыли. Ну, тогда это много объясняет.
Declan lacks subtlety, but he loves this town like no one else.
So, Sam, how's life been treating you?
Could be better. My best friend just died.
No need to snap at me, Sam. I ain't the enemy here. And your allies are in short supply, so be careful what you say. You staying in town long?
Not really. Why? You think I'm gonna disturb the peace or something?
Wouldn't be your first time. Have a nice evening, Sam.
Что-то... Ладно, я не совсем то хотела сказать, но... Окей.
Walter can be overwhelming at times, but he means well. He's owned this bar for almost a decade and still can't afford another employee.
So I had to throw them all out on their ear, and only then did I realize.
Ah, Samuel, my favorite ex-muckracker. Join us, join us.
How was the funeral?
Wasn't there. Setting up for this.
Everyone came, most of the town, it felt like. A sea of sad, wet eyes. I gave the eulogy. Felt hollow. So hollow. He worked for me for years. For years, my best reporter. What do you even say about him?
He loved people, sharing things, having fun together. Take video games. He didn't even care if it was some cooking game or shooting game or what, as long as we were playing together.
I always prefer my games analog. Chess, Go. You two did seem to bond over them, though.
It's the small things. Like he always kept his window down. Said cars made him claustrophobic. That's how he stays with us. The little details.
I remember the bar bets about that safe spot in Pac-Man. He got me one night.
Yeah, got me once too. Can't believe it's real.
Enough about Nicholas, enough. Tell me, how have you been, Sam? How have you really been?
I spend all day doing nothing. I don't even count days. They just blur together. Nick's death barely hit me. It was like a pinprick compared to just everything.
Time heals most wounds. Some it just makes worse. Sounds like you need something to pull you out of your rut.
Well, I think I've taken enough of your gents' time.
Go, mingle, circulate, but you must join us for an actual round later. You must.
Даже не знаю, стоит ли спрашивать у него.
Oh, Walter, can I ask you something?
Questions are the fountainhead of knowledge.
Nick's crash. Was there anything suspicious about it?
I asked myself the same thing. The very same thing. It did seem odd. Young Nicholas, a careful man in all things, including driving. I looked into it myself. You know what I found?
What?
A tragic accident with nothing amiss. I am both relieved and saddened to say.
Ah.
Life is rarely like a crime thriller, and while I don't mind you asking, some might find it a distasteful conversation at a man's memorial. Especially from you.
I'll keep that in mind.
See that you do, my boy. See that you do.
Окей. Смешная женщина.
That's the guy who got the mine closed.
I can't believe he showed up after what happened.
I've never known Tara to not take over a conversation.
So tragic, what happened to Nick. The details are horrible. They think he didn't die on impact. Instead, he roasted to death. Not enough to damage the bones, but, you know, not a pretty sight. Unless you're into that kind of thing, of course. I didn't mean to be rude, Sam.
Well, you were, Tara. You can't talk about Nick like that.
What did I say? It was only the truth. Poor Sam. Now that Nick is gone, everyone in town hates you. I mean, I don't. Why would I? It's not my job you destroyed. You're not the cause of all my problems. I mean, that's what you did for pretty much all of Baswood, but not to me. So, I don't hate you.
Thanks for the confidence booster, Tara. I'll see you around.
Какая же она странная женщина. О.
Some people can play this game drunk. Anna was best at 3 beers.
Предложение для пьяных клиентов. Сомневаюсь, что они зачитают. Так. Ага, что это такое? Это можно это зачитать? Вот здесь можно. Душа Басвуда. Бар, который нельзя забывать. Почему-то места, без которых родной город был бы уже не тем, удивительно легко забываются. Call Manners Heaven, безусловно, одно из них. Владелец бара Итан Морроу постарался отразить шахтерскую тематику. Название в интерьере. Стены увешаны фотографиями смельчаков, долгий год трудившиеся в шахте. Об оглушительном успехе говорить рано, но Итан смотрит в будущее с оптимизмом. Да, сейчас времена непростые, но слава богу, кое-что до сих пор. Надеется, что сумеет обыграть меня в дартс. Загляните сюда в следующий раз, как будете в этом районе. Цены всегда адекватные, пиво прохладное. Итан помнит каждого посетителя по имени. Так. Переход от Карла к Итану Морроу, который давно работал там за баром. Один из немногих баров, ведущих свою историю со времен Сухого закона, в годы действия которого заведение продавало алкоголь нелегально. Вот как комментирует ситуацию сам Итан. Я особо ничего менять не собираюсь. Гости давно чувствуют себя в баре как дома, и менять это не хочется. Но хозяин планирует сохранить и со временем расширить собранную Эдвардом коллекцию украшений. Так, как мне вот это вот... Угу.
But no more than 3,000 milligrams a day.
I thought it was 4,000.
That's what crooked pharmacists want you to believe. But that amount is damaging in the long term.
Bess always had a soft spot for Nick. I think she liked his work ethic. Pretty courageous of him to try his luck in Basswood, given the state of things. That's where Nick and I sat every time he dragged me out for drinks after work.
Да.
I can't believe this whole thing's still working.
О боже.
Sit yourself down. Now you should know how.
Nick and I spent so much money on this machine.
Пакман. Барабанную установку. Так, мы со всеми тут потрещали. Что-нибудь новенькое появилось в дневнике? О май гад. Бармен из тихого городка больше слушает, чем говорит. Вероятно, бар это единственный преуспевающий бизнес во всем Басвуде. Так. Уолтера нет и никогда не было второго дна. Он действительно горюет по Нику. Ну да, он такой, типа, знаете, максимально искренний, честный, вообще от души человек. Там все дела. Это странная женщина. Капец странная. Администратор Басвуд Джангл. Это самая странная коллега, которая есть в любом офисе. Ей нравится абсолютно все. Динозавры, любовные романы, телевангелисты, теории заговоров, рисовое печенье и обычное название улицы. Обо всем этом она готова говорить часами. У Тары что на уме, то и на языке. Из нее вышел бы ужасный шпион или серийный убийца. Или наоборот прекрасный. Ну да, кстати, скорее прекрасный. Хью в городе недавно, но он умеет входить в доверие людей. С другой стороны, он фармацевт. Это навык ему необходим. Все равно приятно, что он нашел время прийти на поминки. А вот тут вот что? Или это просто из-за того, что вот так вот? Хорошо, ладно. Кэти.
There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard. Kathy,
Sam, you actually came.
it's been too long, Kathy.
Has it? Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
Hard to make promises. I don't do well with those in Joan.
I've noticed.
But I'll try.
Sam, I'm gonna hold you to that.
You're a lot like Pac-Man, Sam.
I consume everything in my path.
You find every last bite. The mine closing wasn't your fault. Your investigation just hurried things up. You probably saved some lives, you know.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Muley.
You piece of
Language.
Is that a wedding ring?
I didn't know you were thinking about marriage.
Oh, it's just... it feels like the right thing to do.
Dad, what's the point of getting married?
Well, it's just one of those things people do, Bug. Here, you can play.
Someone has to show you grown-ups. Video games are the realm of the young.
Have you talked to Anna about this?
That's kind of the point. I'll talk to her about it when I show her the ring.
If you say so. Hey, just remember I'm here, right? If you need anything. Anything but my arcade secrets. Those I'll take to the grave.
Sorry we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy. He was more her best friend than a dad. Look at us.
Ник Уолтер.
Bug was so small back then. We drove straight to the sea after work on a Friday. Hell of a weekend.
Так вот это можно как-то посмотреть? А вот.
Those two were a great team. Happier times. I wonder who took that picture. This photo always looked weird. Nick could never keep a straight face.
Samuel, guess I lost the bet.
Bet?
Yeah, that bet you'd never come back to Baswood? Not after you went careening out of town like a bat out of hell the instant that article broke bad.
Okay, I'll bite. Tell me, Dennis, who did you have a standing bet with?
Myself. So I guess I also won.
What are you even doing here, Dennis? You and Nick become friends or something?
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought he was a hack, which he was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can. But it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way. Relax. I'm just playing. At least tell me how you been.
Yeah, like you'd care.
Not too much. But suit yourself if you want to be like that. Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, how little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. 'Tis but I suffer for your sake. Believe me, dear, that's true. I wish that you were staying here.
Has it really been 2 years since I saw her? She hasn't changed a bit. Anna?
Sam! I've missed you. Why'd it take so long for you to darken my doorstep?
I won't lie, it really hurt coming back. I stopped by Lookout Point on the way here.
Sam, why'd you do that to yourself?
A desire to open old wounds? The old-timers gave me hell when I came in, too.
People around here have short tempers,
And long memories.
but most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
I wanted to help. I was trying to make things better.
You always do. Try, at least. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. It started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Yeah. That's, you two must be so hard.
Are you okay? You knew about us, right? He said he was going to tell you.
Yeah, I knew, but knowing and, knowing are different.
Yeah, I guess they are. But this was all nice. The funeral, the wake. Walter did a good job. But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
Nick's death. Do you know if he had any enemies? Working on anything dangerous? Whew. Now this is a real can of worms.
This is a wake.
I know that.
Do you? This isn't the time to be digging and pushing. You always do this. You always... I get it. You're still you, huh? You'll always still be you, Sam. I hope you never change, but I can't handle this right now. I'm gonna go home. I hate that his stuff is all over my house. Then drink and cry all night. You do what you need to do. See you around.
Samuel, come. Have a round with me.
I need a drink or two. Or 3, and then I'll go. There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard.
Ой, зря я спросила.
I wonder what he's planning to ruin this time.
Кого ты там бубнишь, тетка, алло?
Old-timers in general already don't like me, and the article just made it worse.
Ой, давайте я с ним не буду. Хотя, давайте поговорим.
Hey, Sam, why don't you drink to Nick on the other side of the bar?
Не-не-не-не. Говнюки. Так, что там почитать можно было? О, господи. Жестоко было расспрашивать Анну про смерть Ника. Я, как всегда, сначала сказала, потом подумала, но в какой-то момент спросила, бы все равно пришлось. Еда есть такое. Деннис, айтишник и мой бывший коллега по газете. Он всегда был раздражительным и язвительным. И держался особняком. Друзей Басвуда у него немного, у меня тоже. Но это еще не значит, что мы с ним родственные души. Ну, какой-то он такой, да. Кэти с Ником рано поженились и быстро развелись. Сомневаюсь, что я ей хоть когда-то нравилась. Хотя я стал крестным отцом их дочери. Возможно, от этого стало только хуже. Maybe. Maybe. Что, время напиться и забыться.
It does look tempting.
Temptation.
So, Nick wasn't drunk, and me? I was drunk as a skunk.
Ah, Samuel, join us. We were just sharing stories about dear Nicholas. And let me get your next round. Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit?
Ah, spirits? Oh, no. Friends drink beer.
Yes, I suppose that's fitting. To dear Nicholas.
Yeah, he'd been coming in a lot lately. Sat right there, with a bad dad joke or two.
With friends, I guess? Maybe Anna.
No, by himself with his laptop as his date.
He never drank alone.
You two were close, though, right? Tell me about the man outside the bar.
He had a terrible memory. Couldn't remember names, dates, passwords. Kept his notes squirreled around him like a hoard.
He was always good with Joan, though Kathy did the heavy lifting. Took her to school, fed her, clothed her, and Nick would pick her up. Play dad for a few hours. Mostly she'd just sit in the office drawing. He'd drop her back off with her mom after dinner.
Greater men have done far less by their daughters. The friend of man, the friend of truth. The friend of age, and guide of youth. Few hearts like his with virtue warmed, few hearts with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, he lives in bliss. If there is none, he made the best of this.
Burns. That from your eulogy?
You know Robert Burns? And no, just something I keep on hand for toasts.
Well, it's a good choice. And sorry about that, Sam. I wasn't trying to bring you down.
Everyone liked him. I think even Dennis liked him somewhat.
He always had a lot of friends. A few who couldn't make it sent flowers.
How's the family taking it?
Joan and Kathy seem shaken. Kathy has a lot to deal with, now more than ever. And who can prepare for losing a parent? Not a soul. Not a single soul.
It always seemed so easy for him. Every day he'd show up, smile, no matter what.
Of the qualities in a good man, that one deserves to be at the top.
Not a quality I possess.
This isn't a place for self-pity. This is a place for dour reflection.
Yes, and drinking.
To Nick, he was my friend. He will be missed, but not forgotten.
Hear, hear.
Put that down! Kathy, what's your underage child doing drinking? You have no control over her? Ethan could lose his
I wasn't
license.
doing anything! Don't touch me! Joan! Leave me alone. Ugh, you guys are all so stupid!
You do not talk to people that way.
А чё это?
I'm sorry, everyone. She's just so...
That was quite heavy-handed. I hope the little one doesn't take it to heart.
I'll send her a text. Make sure she's gonna be okay.
Сейчас мы пивом, походу, так налакаемся. Чисто бочку пива, походу, уже опрокинули.
What a night! I'd say that went well. Ish. You got to chat with everyone you've been avoiding. Even if Joan got inside your head with her whole dad mystery death thing. Just shut up. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Deep down, you've been looking for a reason to come back. It's gonna be one of those long nights inside your head, huh?
I am so very sorry. You stuck in existence, stuck in my head, just a terrible state you're in.
Get your anger and sarcasm out of your system. Better you take it out on me than anyone else. You're back out in the world. Feeling emotions, fitting in, that's progress.
Fuck the world. Pointless talking and more talking, and no one says what they mean. Go away. Let me enjoy being miserable.
Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid.
No promises.